Here we go. Thank you again. It took me a minute to get that. So, again, this is the community temperature reading, and for new information, to have a positive deposit in the community,
Um, okay,
you
I
would,
thought it was the actual movie hall where you could see everyone else, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Oh, I think she was just on off mute. So I'll just keep going. So, new information. You could have had a promotion, you could have had a child, you could have had something that was something important to you, but there's not, when you don't have an opportunity to share it, that gives you that opportunity. And then your hopes and wishes. This moves you into the immediate future. You can share and express with someone how you're feeling, what you hope, what you wish, and then again, giving a positive deposit into the community. So the CTR, it is a flexible skill and it's an elastic tool that you can use individually. You can use, well, one-on-one. You can use with your family. You can use at church, at work, to start a meeting. A friend of mine, um, Vanessa, actually, she used it with a coworker in a conversation that she had. I'm using it on, and I've used it on our team, and I've used it with my niece and nephews and family as well. So, what I would like to do, I'm gonna pick one that everyone can try it out. We did the appreciations and excitements last time. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to jump up to new information. So does anybody want to share? You can share in the chat if you have new information, and you can just share with us what new information that you have going in your life. And if you would like to come off mute and come on camera or share, just raise your hand so we can call you out and we'll do that. And I'll start if you want me to. My new information is that I recently went to see Nedra Glover Tawwab, the author of Finding or the Boundaries book, Set Boundaries, Find Peace, and then her new book. And I have a picture with me and Nedra Tawwab. That is my new information. Yay! Yes. So I'm not sure. All right. Yes. Thank you. Woo woo. So would somebody else like to share new information that you have going on? Kim, I think you were clapping, but if you were raising your hand, go for it. Oh,
It was just a clap.
okay. I appreciate it. But
Thank you.
Felicia has new information. She's a new mom after 19 years. She has a 19-year-old and an 8-month-old. Congratulations, Felicia.
Congratulations.
That is beautiful. Wow. Wow, that is awesome. So 19 years old. So they'll be able to watch a little baby sister or brother, huh? That's wonderful. Yes, congratulations. Would anybody else like to share? You are very welcome. I love it. Okay, no pressure. But again, this is a skill that we will incorporate because it's something that can help you just have, oh, Vanessa will be on vacation starting next week for 2 weeks. All right, go ahead, Nessa. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to get one of your vacation weeks, ma'am. Ah, yes, vacation. Yes, yes, yes. But as you can see, it's just a conversation prompt or conversation starter, and it's something. Yes, I am turning 40. Let's go. She had, ma'am,
Oh my goodness.
ma'am, that looks beautiful on you.
Yes, it
Let's go,
really does.
40.
Thank
40s are
you. I'm
amazing.
excited. Thank
Yes,
you guys.
yes, yes. Look at all this new information, and you see how it's putting a positive deposit into our community. So this is just a prompt and a sample of what it can look like. And yes, beware, congratulations. What we'll eventually do, we'll share anybody who's interested. If you want the the information, and just it's a sheet of paper. I can email it to you. You can always email me. I'll drop the email in the chat, but it's just something that you can do again to build healthy relationships with those that you love. And then as MYAVANA, the community, we want to build healthy relationships. So we're going to include this skill. So that's all I have for you. And then I'm going to turn it over to Kyla.
Yes, thank you, Jasmine. I really like this exercise. I think it's a great idea. And I'm actually going to take this with me to my full-time job. Actually, I'm going to be doing a few like workshops for special education. I think this will be a perfect way to open up, help parents and their children open up as we do the trainings. So thank you everyone else who also shared their responses. And if you still want to share your response, please feel free to drop it in the chat. We still want to hear you. And today we're going to get started with, per usual, with a moment of silence. And then Jasmine's actually going to do a prayer for us. And then we'll get into today's session.
All right. So, with the moment of silence, although we have just deposited positive into the community, everybody has come, and we're so grateful that you are here today. But you have had a day. Whatever the day was, you have had a day. So when we come in, what we want to do is kind of wash ourselves and prepare ourselves for our beautiful guests that speak. And you can do this again anywhere you are. Like, just we take one moment, which is 60 seconds, and we'll just quiet our mind, we'll quiet our heart so that we can be prepared in this place and be present in this space. So we're going to have Tiffany speak to us, and we just want to be ready. So for those who are now, I know Felicia, she has an 8-month-old, so your time is gonna be a little bit different. And I know there are some moms in here. Sometimes you don't feel like you have a lot of time for yourself, but taking 60 seconds, even if you have to do it while you're in the room and sitting on the stool of, the chair, you can do that. So if you're in the restroom, but we're going to do that in a way that prepares us and that keeps us present as we are enjoying our guest speaker. So after the moment of silence, I will say a prayer and then I'll turn it back over to Kyla. So everybody, you can calm your heart, calm your mind, and I'll count off. And then the next voice you'll hear is my prayer, and then we'll keep going. Father, I thank you for this time. I thank you for this day, and I thank you for each and every person who's represented here. Thank you for the company MYAVANA, the leadership, our CEO, and everyone involved with this wonderful company to be able to have a time, a space, and a place to bring everybody together. And I thank you, Father, for all the women who are represented here. Father, the scenarios, the stories, the family of origins, everything that's in this room right now virtually, I pray, Father, however people have come, that they will be able to experience something that touches them personally and touches their heart in a way, in their life in a way that is meaningful and that is special to them. We thank you for our beautiful guest today. We thank you for the knowledge and the wealth of information that she will bring. And we just pray, Father God, that as she speaks, that she will enjoy what she's saying, because I know she has a passion for it, and that she will be able to see something that she's never seen before. We're asking for a unique blessing from her, for her, and for everybody that attends. Thank you for this space and this place. In Jesus' name, amen. Over to
Amen.
you, Kyla.
Yes, thank you, Jasmine, for blessing our session. And thank you again to everyone joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time to show up and be a part of today's conversation. My name is Kyla, and I am your host for the evening. I'm really excited for today's conversation. I hope you all are as well. The purpose of our virtual hair club sessions is to come together and provide a safe space for women to feel supported, use their voices, and connect with one another, as well as build community around topics related to natural hair, health, and wellness. We will be doing giveaways at the end of the session, and all you have to do to be considered is stay active in the chat or come on camera if you want. And Jasmine will be keeping an eye out at the end to announce our winner. Our guest for this month is Tiffany Ware, owner of Beware Cosmetology, here to share her story and journey in holistic hair care. Tiffany has been passionate about helping others since she was a child. She started working in early childhood education while also providing hairstyling services to those around her. Later, she switched to cosmetology full-time and graduated in 2008. In 2017, she obtained her senior cosmetology license and started using creative ways to teach others about holistic hair care and innovative styling. Today, she is the successful owner of Beware Enterprises LLC and continues to provide quality through mentorship, hair care, philanthropy, and artistic creativity. Without further ado, I'd like to give the floor over to Tiffany. Welcome and thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, excited to be a part of the MYAVANA community. Once again, that was such a great introduction. I was going to say all of that, but I'll repeat some of it. But I am Tiffany Ware. I'm owner of Beware Enterprises. I do business as Beware Cosmetology, and I've been licensed since 2008. Senior cosmetologist since 2017, and I've just now, since 2022, become a licensed hair loss specialist. So that's been my journey. That's where I am now. The Beware in my brand name stands for Be Wanted, Be Authentic, Be Radiant, and Be Ever Evolving. These are It's funny, me and my friend were actually, I wanted to transition out of the name that I was using before for my brand. And me and my friend were just in my apartment one day, and she was like, "What about Beware?" I was like, it's intriguing. It's got a little something to it. And I was like, well, it has to, be unique because I'm naturally, I'm an artist. That's the first and foremost, I'm a creative at heart, and I like to be creative with things. So I wanted to make my brand name a representation of me and things that I aspire to. So like having a desirable, persona, to where people want to hear you or want to be around you, being authentically myself, being radiant in all things that I'm doing, and constantly evolving. And so that's the basis of my brand. It's what I, speak to people about, and just the basis of everything that I'm doing. So I'm specializing now in holistic hair care and education because, I started to see that those were the things that were important to me. So that's where I am now. Let me stay on my notes because I'll start talking about other things. But really, what it is with holistic hair care is really just understanding how important it is to take care of yourself as a whole to achieve your healthiest hair, because when you're just focused on one thing, you lose track of everything that goes along. And I've always been and made it important to talk about internal care, working from the inside out to have your healthiest hair. So just a little bit about me and my background. I was born in Alabama. I moved to the DC area as a baby. I also lived in Smyrna, Georgia for some time, like in my elementary years, and then moved back to the DC area, and I've been here ever since. I'm also looking at my notes so I can stay on track. So if you see me like looking, then that's what I'm doing. But yes, I've always been a creative, always been into art. I always remember styling like my doll's hair in different ways. And my mother used to watch football. She was a Redskins fan when they were the Redskins. And I would sit on her back and do her hair while she was watching football. And just along my path, I realized that I also had just a passion for teaching. I had a passion for the youth. And so that was really my focus in high school, as she was stating before. I really focused on that and worked in early childhood education for years after I graduated. And just, I needed it was like my time with that was just done. It had taken its course. And because I had always been continuing to do hair for people as an extra source of income while I was working in child care, I decided to just move towards that route and become a licensed cosmetologist. So I'm excited, to be at this place in my career and just in my life where I get to infuse so many different things that I love, into my career, educating, mentoring in youth, creativity. So um, it's really exciting. So I'm going to talk a little bit about like my early years in cosmetology. Hair loss has always been something that was a concern for people that would come and sit in my chair, even from, like during my cosmetology studies, people would come to the school. Even then, there was a lot of hair loss. And after graduating, I really I was able to find through my creativity ways to just kind of like camouflage hair loss for people. Um, and it was just through different techniques and seeing different patterns that I realized that, finding and getting to the core of the hair loss was more important than trying to cover it up. Um, and so I've always talked, like I was saying before, I've always talked to my clients about just incorporating working from the inside out, through diet, through exercise, taking care of your mental health. That was always something that I spoke about, but I just realized that that was really something that was of high importance to focus on. And, through the years, I, learned some things. I made some choices in styling that weren't the best for, my clients at the time. And we were able to see the results of the choices. And that's when I had to like check myself, like, okay, I need to readjust the way that my approach is, so that I can make sure that I'm serving the people that come and sit in my chair, the right way. So I realized that I needed to, space people out from wearing styles with like tension, alternating between those types of styles so that you're not always pulling and tugging at your hair. Because even though our hair is strong, it's also very sensitive, and so we have to be careful with what we're doing with our hair. So really in that, just shifting into studying, myself, studying more, so that I can be able to educate my clients better on, and make sure that I'm holding myself accountable for what I'm doing as the licensed professional. Um, And that's where I've been led to really focus, because I started to notice commonalities with people. Like, for example, if someone came in and their scalp was really, really dry, um, I asked questions like, are you drinking enough water? And most of the time they would say, no, I haven't really been drinking any water lately. So, small things like that. Just led me to want to really study for myself. What can I do to help these women, or just people in general, because it's not just women, people in general who are coming in and they're like, oh, this is going on with my hair and I'm having this hair loss. You guys have to excuse me. I don't know if my computer fan just came on, so it might start getting a little loud. Let me know if it's like distracting or anything. But it's around like I would say when the pandemic came, like in 2020, there was a real uptick in hair loss. And I was like, wow, this is like really intense. Like, this is an epidemic. Like, we need to figure out what's going on here. So I was thinking, to further my education even further, to further my education and go into trichology, which I see someone posted about that in the chat. Yes, it is something that needs to be discussed more often. And instead of just like, as I was saying before, in my early years as a cosmetologist, just trying to camouflage it and do a style over it. Now, of course, there are some types of hair loss that may be irreversible, and all you can do is, just try to make a person feel good and look good, and so we'll do those things when they're necessary. But definitely since 2020, there was an uptick in hair loss. And so I said, I want to be able to not just say, oh, you have hair loss, or you know, I wanted to be able to get my own extensive education on it so I could provide more solutions and ways that people can combat it, if it is a form of hair loss that can be, reversed. I want to be able to provide that for people, because there's been so many people that have come in my chair over the years, and it's very devastating, some of these situations, for people. And I'm just a natural, like, um, that's like my spiritual gift, is just helping, wanting to be there for other people. And so that's where my focus is now. One of the things that I've noticed over the years, is that people come to me often wanting to know what products to use. And this is when I like to get into, having that holistic care, because I think it's good to identify that, of course, but I think people rely a lot on just products to make sure, to get their hair to where they want it to be, when you can use all of the best products in the world, but if your internal body is just not functioning at its highest, or you're having some issues because people with fluctuating hormonal levels, if you have like a chronic illness that maybe your immune system isn't as strong, you can still use a product to keep your hair nice and looking nice. But if you're not able to like really think about what you're doing internally, then you can still suffer from different issues. But I remember one client came into me. She was referred to me by another client, and she's the one who mentioned MYAVANA to me. So she came in, and we were talking, because I do extensive consultations. I ask questions, even my clients who are regular with me, because it's so easy how quickly your hair can change. Like if even if I've seen you 4 weeks, if something has happened, like, you know, you've had a stressful event, or even if you ate something that maybe imbalanced your pH, it'll show in your hair. And so I always ask questions at each of my clients' appointments, you know, how's everything been? Are you taking time for yourself? You know, are you eating well? Are you exercising? Because if I see something in their hair, I know that, you know, something is going on. So, you know, we have those conversations. But nonetheless, this is the client who came in, you know, we were talking, and she was like, have you heard of MYAVANA? And I said, no, you know, tell me about it. So, you know, she started off, of course, that, you know, it's women who are Black, you know, organizing this, running this. And immediately I was sold on that because, you know, as I was talking to Kyla and Jasmine earlier, my daughter's in school and in college, and she's studying information technology. And so just seeing that, you know, Black women in tech were doing something like this so amazing, I really wanted to be involved, you know. And my client who was sitting and telling me about it, she showed me, you know, her results. She showed me how you get this microscopic view of your strand. You get to learn about the characteristics. And this is something that I, just because of my knowledge of the science of hair, I'm able to give people kind of like a, I don't want to call it minimal, but it's my version of what's going on with their hair. It's not scientifically proven. It's just based upon my knowledge of the science of hair. So it takes me time. I'm going in and I'm seeing, you know, the way that their hair is responding to different things. But with, you know, with my Ivana, you're able to get those results quicker, and just the science of it all, I'm so intrigued. I love it. And this is something that, you know, I want to also be able to provide for my clients, because it's really about, you know, healthy hair care is about just learning and being able to get the knowledge that you need, the information that you need, so that you can make the proper adjustments, you know, to your regimen if there's something that you're doing or something that you need to change in order to achieve your hair goals. My Ivana, the hair kits are such a good way to get those characteristics of your hair and really start to get better understanding of how you can move forward in your healthy hair journey. So that's pretty much how I got here to this moment. um, I can leave it up to the chat, or if you guys want to ask me any questions.
We do have some comments that came in.
Okay.
So someone mentioned, I'm just going to go back. You saw that trichology, hair loss, is a major problem in minority communities that's not discussed. And then Latanya, she said that her hairstylist was a lifesaver after she went through chemotherapy. She massaged her scalp every week, every other week until it started growing back. And then Felicia said lack of iron caused a major hair loss for her, especially after pregnancy. So can you speak to that?
Yeah.
Any of those? And then if you want to come off mute, just raise your hand and then we'll acknowledge you as well.
Yes. So definitely postpartum hair loss. It's something that I've seen, of course, over the years. A lot of my clients, I've seen them go through multiple pregnancies, and each time, their hair responded differently. And it's definitely a lot of the spikes and the drops and the hormonal levels trigger the hair. And this is something that I talk about with my clients, you know, the fight or flight response of our bodies. So when you have like something major, a major change in your body, your body responds in fight or flight, and it's going to do its best to bring all of your nutrients and everything that you need to the major organs of your body. And so it strips away from the hair because of that. And so whenever there are these like major shifts in your hormonal levels, or even if, you know, in your health in general, like if like chemo, for example, your hair is going to suffer from that. And it, you know, it can affect everybody differently. And not everyone is going to have like significant hair loss. Some people just experience a little shedding. Some people lose patches of hair. Some people, you know, their whole front of their hairlines just falls away. And it's very devastating, you know, to experience something like that. But with postpartum, there is, you know, there's like no cure. You just have to make sure, again, like this person was saying, the iron levels, you know, you just have to make sure that you're continuing to take your vitamins, you know, continuing to eat well, doing your best. I know it's hard as new moms to get that time to yourself, to get, you know, adequate rest and eat a decent meal, you know, but we have to just stop, we have to stop stopping ourselves from doing that, because we can, even though postpartum is something that most people will experience after childbirth, you can do small things to just kind of try to alleviate it. And that's something I also talk about with single strand knots. This is a whole different topic, but you know, the curly hair is going to have knots, like it's just going to come because the hair is curly. But there are things that you can do, you know, in your regimens and in your patterns to alleviate the, you know, alleviate the amount of single strand knots. So same thing with, you know, those other topics like postpartum hair loss.
Okay, thank you so much. We do have another question. We have two more questions. Keep your questions coming in. We'll get to as many as we can. What has been the most emotional hair experience you have witnessed, either you or a client? Vanessa said her hair is usually an emotional process, and she's curious if you feel the same way.
Yeah, definitely. Gosh, my most,
What happened?
no, I, so I have a client now, who is, like,
Putting on water.
Uh-oh, I'm sorry.
oh,
I'll
should
just
be quiet.
make sure everybody's muted.
Okay, okay. So I have a client who when she first came to me, this was maybe in 2015, 16. But she had just finished with chemo, or was towards the end of her treatment. So, you know, we were really working at that time to get her back to a better place. Then she got pregnant. So we had to manage that shift in her hair, because we were already working towards, you know, getting her hair back to a better place from the chemo. So it took us some time to get her hair to a good place. Then she got pregnant again. So, you know, all these shifts in the hormones and the health, the status of the health, really just exacerbated the hair loss to a higher level. We were never able to really get a good hold on it. And then over the pandemic, she ended up going through a divorce. So the emotions and the mental health was just not in the best place. So that exacerbated it even further. So, you know, she's the last time, well, a time recently, you know, she was sitting in my chair and she just broke down, because, you know, this is so much to happen over the course of time that I've known her, and the things that we already experienced. So I feel like that may have been the toughest one as of recent.
Thank you so much. I have another question. They're coming in, so I'm gonna make sure. Let's see. Any advice for chemical over processing in scalp burns?
Yes, you would definitely need to see a trichologist or a dermatologist because a lot of times chemical burns are irreversible because that would be scarring alopecia is what it's called. And once the scar is developed, it's hard to like the hair typically does not grow back, but you would need a proper, evaluation. This is just what I can tell you, without seeing anything.
Okay. And the next question is, what do you think is the common denominator of hair loss in Black women?
I would say traction alopecia is probably the highest cause of hair loss in the Black community. And that I don't know if you guys know, but I'll tell you, traction alopecia is from, pulling. When you have the constant pulling at your scalp, the hair strand disconnects from the follicle where the hair strand grows. And once it's disconnected, it most likely will not grow back because you've damaged the nerve. But sometimes it can, if it's not like if the nerve isn't damaged, you can restore traction alopecia, but that's definitely the most common.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Another question that came through is, what are some of your steps to prevent hair loss and maintain healthy hair?
So what I first like to, get my clients to do is make sure that they're having their physicals because it's good to know where your body is, in your blood, how your blood is looking. All of those things are very important because again, as we were talking about earlier, low iron can be a cause of hair loss. Low vitamin D can be a cause of hair loss. So I always talk about, diet, making sure that you're eating well. And that doesn't necessarily mean be a vegan or, anything like that. But whatever your diet is, just make sure that it's healthy, that you're eating healthy foods and not too high on the acidic side of the pH scale with your food, because when your pH is imbalanced, that can also, contribute. But definitely making sure that, you get your physicals, you know what's going on with your health, because your immune system is the strength and the health of your immune system will help you, have healthier hair and minimize hair loss.
Now we have another comment. I'll read it all. Her daughter has had leukemia 3 times and has had to go through chemo. She lost her hair and it hasn't grown back, and it's been 3 years. It has grown in length, but it is very sparse and it doesn't cover her scalp at all. She's only 19. What do you think she could do? What do you think she could do to help her hair grow back?
Maybe scalp massaging that can stimulate blood flow to the scalp and, be able to help produce more hair. I definitely feel like something like this would need to be seen by a dermatologist. Can I ask, have you ever taken her to a dermatologist?
Feel free to come off mute, or you can type your answer in the chat. That was Jay Ulysses. Or did I say the name right? Ulski. Oh, I think that is. Yes, they are not sure what to do.
Yeah, I don't know. If you wanted to reach out to me, maybe I can put my email in here
Okay.
and maybe we can talk about it further that way.
Okay.
because I would want to know like what they said as far as maybe if there was a diagnosis, even if they don't know what to do, did they at least diagnose it as something? But yes, I'm open to talking to you further about that.
Thank you so much. And yes. So there is another question. What's your way to get people on board with the holistic side? Holistic in
Oh,
quotes. Everyone always
that's
wants a
so
quick
true.
fix.
Yes, everyone does always want a quick fix, and that's another reason. I'll just say this real quick why I like MYAVANA, because again, people will come to me. They might come for a consultation, and I'm doing their hair and scalp analysis, and then towards the end, they want to know, oh, okay, what products can I go buy? And it's like, oh, it's not that simple, like, I always talk about, to my clients that your hair is very specific to you as an individual. You can look at someone else and say, oh, that's my hair type, but when you get down to the bottom of it, it is a DNA imprint. But it's taken me a while, and it's also been a lot of me just living it out, living the holistic lifestyle in front of my clients, talking about it to them being able to see my results, see what I'm doing. That has been a great help in getting them to come to the holistic side. And just being understanding, talking, just giving them reminders. Like I send newsletters every month, and I'm always putting in reminders. Hey guys, make sure you're drinking enough water this week, or make sure that you're taking time out to yourself this week or this month. So those are a lot of the ways that I continue to just instill that in my clients, because we all fall off track. Sometimes, life happens. You may not drink as much water one day as you did the last day, but it's just about really checking in with yourself regularly, making sure that you're doing what you need to do on a day-to-day to make sure that you're operating at your highest. And that's what I always talk to my clients about, and anybody in my community, anybody, anywhere.
Awesome. It looks like we do have one more question in chat before we close up. And
Okay.
I actually want to add to this one. M. Smith says sometimes change of routine hair care products can be a big help. Do you have any suggestions? And I just want to add, what ingredients would you suggest using with a holistic hair care routine?
Okay. Oh, that's a good question. Um, so what I've noticed over the years is pretty much like every 10 years, just like we have our milestones, your hair will also go through changes. And so sometimes you may need to alternate your products, and especially your routines, you know, because this, again, the slightest thing can change your hair. And it can happen fast, but the repair doesn't happen as fast. So, definitely monitoring, paying attention to your hair. I have one of my clients, he always makes sure that he watches what he's eating. And then when he comes back to me and we do our mini consultation, he's like, okay, so what do you see with my hair? And we talk about food and how it's affected his hair. So, but with products, I always like to tell people that the first four ingredients of the product list are going to be the main ingredients the main active ingredients in the product. So always making sure that it's something natural, or not like a harsh type of chemical, is going to best help you in choosing products for holistic care. I can't give you exact ingredients, but that's my advice.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
Um,
welcome.
I just want to say we are getting ready to close up, but the chat has been amazing this session. I just want to thank everyone for participating and asking some really awesome questions for Tiffany. And I also want to thank you again, Tiffany, for joining us before we go. Please let everyone know where they can find you on social, and if you have anything you want to share that's coming up, you can do so as well. And then where can we find you on social? Oh, I think you're muted.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna type everything in the chat.
Oh, okay,
Is that
perfect.
okay? Okay,
Yep, that's perfect.
all right.
Okay, ladies, so before we close out today's session, we do have to announce our monthly giveaway winner, who will receive a MYAVANA hair care analysis kit. Let me just check to see if we have a winner chosen yet. Looks like Jasmine
Yes,
is picking.
it will be coming to you.
Okay, perfect. So just a little information on the kit if you're new. The MYAVANA hair analysis kit makes it simple for you to submit your hair strands for analysis to receive your unique hair ID with recommended products, ingredients, regimens, and local professional stylists in your area. All you have to do is comb your hair like normal because our strands do shed every day, and you'll drop the strands back in the mail with a prepaid envelope provided, and then our team will take it from there. I did have my consultation. I got the kit and I sent my strands back, and I recently had my consultation with Coach Karen, and it was awesome. I'm looking forward to product recommendations so that I can reach some of my hair goals. So it's definitely a fun process, and I do encourage, if you aren't our winner, to check it out on your own and when you have time. And it looks like we do have a winner. Give me 1 second. Oh, wait. Oh, Jasmine, did you drop it in the chat? I'm sorry. Or are we waiting
Yes.
for that? Oh, okay, here it is. Our winner is Angie Boyd. Congratulations.
Congratulations! Everybody give a round of applause.
I never win
Woo!
anything.
Well,
Yay!
you won
Yay!
today.
You won
Congrats,
today.
girl.
You were a winner, 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 winner. Be a
That's
winner,
so
winner, winner.
exciting.
Oh, that's let's go, let's go.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So, and
Oh, I'm
Angie,
sorry, go
just
ahead.
send me your email, and we're gonna get you your information through the mail. Yes, let's clap it up for Angie. Yeah.
Yes, congratulations, Angie. Thank you to everyone for joining us for our monthly virtual hair club session. Our next meetup will happen on April 26th, and we will be sharing our future guests on socials. So make sure you're following us and stay tuned for who will be joining in. And until next time, we'll see you in April.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you so much for
Tiffany.
being here. And I'm putting in the chat, if you're interested in the hair analysis kit, you can check out myavana.com. So I am
Perfect.
putting our email address in the chat. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
Woohoo! This is
beautiful.
beautiful.
I feel like this was by far our biggest turnout. It's awesome.
Yes, Tiffany, you brought your people. Let's go.
Bye.
Yes. If anybody else has any questions, again, you can send them to me by email, or if Tiffany, if you're here, and if anybody had a question, but you are, yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next month. Oh, I have Angie's information. Excellent. 3 on my hip. Oh, that's a mama. That's a mama. Okay.